So it's time for our interview with Mo Rocca. And we should mention that we already recorded the interview.
Yes.
And it went on for 30 minutes. We were having such intimate, interesting discussion that we just kept it going.
This was truly a therapeutic interview that we did.
Yeah, no, it was fascinating.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. We can't air all of it on this show. So if you want the extended interview, what shall they do?
Yeah, you can get it on our apps. We have iPhone apps, we got a Droid app, we got an iPad app, and this interview is going to go about 15 minutes, but you're going to get another 10 or 12, maybe even 14 minutes. There's going to be bonus content, which you can only get on the app.
So let's get into it. Welcome, Mo Rocca, to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah. First, we should point out that Mo and I are wearing matching shorts.
Yes.
And we match your shirt.
Yeah, this is very, very bizarre.
It's Kismet, right? And Ben, you said you identified the color as coral. Yeah.
I was trying to bring all three colors together. I think coral was probably the closest.
And do you work for J. Crew, or do you need that?
Oh, now we're going to get in trouble with the bonobos people.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the bonobos people, right.
Yes.
Oh, right, because bonobos, those are the hot pants that make anyone's butt look good, right?
Yes!
I swear on my life we did not pay Mo Rocca to say that.
Love it.
Yeah.
I prefer orangutans.
Oh.
Because bonobos are simians.
Yeah, they're little chimpanzees.
Yeah, well,
the monkey.
Don't confuse. No, but monkeys and chimpanzees are different.
Right.
I always forget, and they're very sensitive about that.
For a second, I thought there was another clothing company called Orangutans, and we were
Right.
in trouble. But you're literally talking about the primate.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, or I could have been talking about garanimals, but you have to be old enough to know about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Explain.
Garanimals were a way of dressing where I guess there would be a little animal symbol on the tops and the bottoms, and that's how you would know what to match with what.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So I guess what you'd do is you'd put a panda shorts with panda top, but you wouldn't. Right. Presumably you wouldn't put rabbit shorts with a coyote top because your top would be eating your bottom then.
And that wasn't even a sex reference as far as I can tell.
Right.
But then it became stylish to mismatch, right? The Brits do that a lot.
All right, well, let's get to some important stuff here.
Okay, sure.
Well, we should talk about you guys ran into each other on that fateful night in the West Village.
Mo, gay marriage was passed, and there we were, just
a fun
inches
night.
away from Stonewall, right there.
It was a very lively, exciting evening.
Were you planning on being there all day, or did you
No.
just...
I live in Chelsea, and I love New York 1, and I was watching, and they said a crowd was gathering there, and I thought, you got to be there for a piece of history like that.
Yeah.
And so I called my friend Julian, and I guilted him because he said he was going to some independent film festival, which, oh my God, it just sounded like, he was going to be tranquilized. I said, okay, if you don't want to be there for a moment of gay history, then, and then he just felt he was, the guilt thing worked so well.
Yeah.
And so he ditched his friend. There are a lot of,
You can't skip that.
Yeah, you can't skip that, right. No, it was very exciting.
Yeah. And were you live tweeting it? Because you have something like 500,000 Twitter followers.
Something has happened. I've topped out at 418,000, which is still more followers than Detroit has people.
Yeah.
I think I have as many followers as Staten Island has people, which suddenly makes it feel a lot less glamorous. And I'm not anti-Staten Island by any means, but it just stopped. That's, yeah.
Why do you think that? So there's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling. I think it's my human worth is measured in Twitter followers.
Yeah.
And it's just stopped out there. You can't look.
Oh, God, if human worth is measured in Twitter followers, then we're screwed compared to you. You have done something karmically correct.
I pushed hard. Was I live tweeting it? No, I tweeted. I tweeted about it. Yeah, it was. It was obviously very memorable, very emotional, and it was a great place to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I did like the fact that because I was looking down while tweeting the entire time, that every time I tried to propose to you, you were actually looking down, and that's why it never happened.
What's embarrassing is that the screenshot that somebody sent me from MSNBC's coverage of it is everybody looking up, eyes welling with tears, and my head buried in my iPhone tweeting. And in truth, it was one of those moments that was made a little bit weird by the fact that pretty much everybody was on their smartphones, probably texting the person right next to them.
Yes.
So, look,
And
at least they got there.
Yeah.
It was quiet, which I thought was interesting, except for people cheering maybe every 10 minutes. People didn't know why they were cheering.
Well, let's face it. What really happened? Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, you were? Okay. Well, from where I was standing, this is basically what happened. Was there were a lot of gay men, and then there were some lesbians. There were fewer lesbians, and the lesbians that I saw there were really fixed on what was happening. They were following exactly what was happening. And the gay men were interested in what was happening, but also really interested in each other. So
yeah,
basically,
we were checking people out.
Exactly. There was a lot of checking out going on. And so basically there would be somebody would say, it passed, and everyone would go, whoa, all right. And there'd be a lot of hugging and kissing and other, And then there would be some lesbian who looks like anybody's in West Side Story. Remember her? She was the really tomboyish one to go, no, that's just an amendment to the bill. The real one hasn't passed yet. And all the gay men would be like, shut up. You're ruining the vibe.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it was like.
Yeah. It was a wonderful evening. I think we can all agree.
It was. It was. So now you were telling us you were in Hawaii. You have a show on the cooking channel, Foodography.
Yeah, I have a show. It's a nifty show about food, and I don't know how to cook, but I don't pretend to know how to cook. I'm the pretty face who, hopefully, who tells you about the history and the innovations in that particular food. And so I went out to Hawaii because we did a whole hour that will air, I guess, in a couple of months on the food of Hawaii. But I also got to go to Roseanne's macadamia nut farm when I was out there, which was really great.
Yeah, so she has a new show, Roseanne's Nuts, and they've put her on a macadamia farm, and she's now a farmer? Are we to believe that?
She has a macadamia nut farm, actually.
Yeah, she doesn't do it. She has people who do it.
She does it, but she's sort of, what did she call herself? She didn't call herself a farmer. She's sort of overseeing the thing, and she really believes that macadamia nuts are the salvation of the world, or the key to solving all sorts of problems. And like many things, Roseanne, it's wacky and it's funny, and yet there's this kernel of truth to it. It's like, she told me the neatest thing about Mormonism, because I don't like celebrities who adhere to really simplistic orthodoxies, right or left. I think it's really boring. It's just, if you're going to have a public voice, be interesting. Don't tell us, don't do boilerplate. It's just so boring. So I asked her, since she was an Orthodox Jew raised in Salt Lake City, and I think that's really fascinating. She said 3 days a week she was Jewish, and 4 days a week she was Mormon, basically. And she loved all the singing and dancing, because Mormons are amazing with singing and dancing. I mean, like two of those guys on a guy and a girl on Dancing with the Stars, I think, are Mormons.
Right.
They're really into ballroom dancing and the Tabernacle Choir and all that business. And so I said, what part of your Mormon upbringing is still with you? And she went, the hard work. And she said, and I tell poor people, if you want protection, become a Mormon. It's cradle to grave, socialized medicine, 10% off the top, and they take care of their own. That, to me, that's part of what makes her so interesting, is she finds this, and she's being a little bit satirical, but it's also like a really interesting point. And I said, well, what do you think of the religion? And she said, horrible, wonderful. Like, a lot of life is horrible, wonderful. And I love that. Anyway.
I like any celebrity who can say, I tell poor people. Because most celebrities pretend they don't make any money, right?
Right.
They're just like us.
And horrible, wonderful. That's a title of a book.
Well, I know. It is a title of a book, and I've got to register it right away. And now somebody's already probably taken it.
Oh, I wanted to talk to related to the food stuff. You were on Rocco's dinner party?
Yeah.
On Bravo?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Rocco is very sweet. He's mesmerizingly good looking. I mean, absurdly.
I agree.
You're just sort of fixed there, and he's just, and I mean, like a lot of these shows, and I say this with affection, there's also something a little bit absurd about it, which is sort of like gathering your 6 close friends for dinner, and it's like, well, we'd never met before. Actually, I'd never met any of the people there. I don't know that that's officially part of the premise, Rocco, if you're listening, but it seemed that way. It was sort of like, I like to gather 6 or 7 of my best friends and just catch up on what's going on. I'm like, as in, like, you need to know my last name because we've never met before. Yeah. So, but it was fun. I mean, it was an eclectic crowd. It was me, Melissa Joan Hart, and Deborah Cox, who was really great, and Tyler Peck, principal ballet dancer with the City Ballet, and a couple of other, interesting, very nice people. And I'm not sure how the show exactly works. I think it was sort of like a combination roundtable discussion, sort of backstage drama, cooking competition show.
That's a lot.
It's kind of like they put a lot of reality shows into a Cuisinart, and they went, and this is what came out. And I think it's very tasty.
Did they prep you? Do they want drama from you? What do they want? Do they want you to pretend like you're all good friends?
I mean,
No,
he is your
not at all.
good friend, so...
Now he is.
Yeah.
I mean, if he'll have me. They didn't. And I think that's good.
Yeah.
In my experience in doing non-scripted television, rehearsed material doesn't work. Or what really doesn't work is when you are doing a show, that if you say something funny in one of these situations and a producer says, okay, we didn't exactly have a great shot on you, you weren't centered, you were sort of a little bit off camera, and then they ask you to do it again, it never works.
Yeah.
Because the audience knows subconsciously even, or consciously, that it was rehearsed and that the spontaneity was leached from it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of comedy, we met back in 1999.
At the Comedy Cellar. It was actually 1982.
I was working as a waiter and you were a busboy or something
right,
like that.
exactly.
No, we met in 99. I was a lowly intern at The Daily Show. Jon Stewart had just taken over. And you were basically the only friendly person there.
Well,
What's the deal with that?
I can only speak for myself that I'm just such a nice guy. No,
Yeah.
no, I remember you there, and of course, and then we re-met later on the street.
Yeah.
That's really, on
Back
the
alley,
street.
don't worry.
And it was an exciting place to work. How was it exciting as an intern to work there?
It was, I worked my ass off.
Yeah, did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I worked my butt off, but here I am. So
All right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And you were there for 4 years, right?
I was there for 4 years, for one presidential term.
Yeah.
So I saw Steve Carell on this week, and they're talking about there's going to be a Daily Show reunion.
I love
Jon
how these
Stewart
things-
was going to.
Isn't
He
that
was
funny?
saying that.
Yeah, somebody, a good friend of mine who's at the show, she said, you've got to go online and watch last night's interview with Carell. And it looked like it sort of materialized right there. That would be fun. Steve is as nice as his image. I mean, he really is. And I had not seen him for many years. I saw him at the opening of his movie, and he's got a real heart of gold. And so I believe he's sincere in wanting to do it, and I believe John is too. So
That would be
let's see.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, totally different subject. But before we let you go, my friend Matt is obsessed with you and your glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're doing radio, you don't have your normal specs on.
Well, I felt like I was hiding behind my glasses. I know this is way too psychological to get into
go
right
for
now,
it.
but I just felt as if my glasses were becoming a costume piece. I'm actually kind of being serious right now. So I reverted to these frames that look a little bit. Somebody said that they look like something out of Watergate or something, and it's not right. But these glasses, they're rimless, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like, I don't know. I think so much of being a performer. God, this is so psychobabbling. Finding your voice, and also figuring out how much of you is your persona based on you. Is your persona you, or is your persona something totally separate? It's never going to be something totally separate. And I just began to feel like my glasses were a little bit trying to be hipster or something. The dark rims, and they were also frankly kind of dated. And I'm just more comfortable with myself now. I mean, it's taken me until I'm 42 to begin feeling that way. Yeah, I don't want to be loved or lusted after for my glasses.
Right.
Who cares about the love part? I don't want to be lusted after for my glasses. I want to be lusted after for the skin around my eyes beneath my glasses that you can't see when they're dark rimmed.
Well, I will say, you have no dark circles or bags or anything.
So I didn't need to be hiding
You
those.
were hiding them.
I actually do have very, very nice skin. I think partly it's that I'm half Colombian. And anytime I get makeup put on, the makeup artist will always say, oh my God, we need to use so little makeup. You have such beautiful skin.
You do.
And I mean, sometimes I just stay at home and just feel my skin on my face. I'm a clean teen. I really am.
Boy, the glasses thing, you really opened up something there.
I know.
You just hinted or said, so you are single.
I am single now, yeah.
And yet I saw men throwing themselves at you on Christopher Street.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I think somebody got run over by a cab, like leaping towards me.
I mean, what's the deal?
I don't know what your question is. Like, why am I single?
Yeah, I see men throwing themselves at you.
I don't know. I mean, right now, no, I will say that I love Provincetown. I think that they're smarter there. I think they're smarter
Than
there.
Fire Island.
Yes, now I don't want to start a flame
Oh, here
war.
we go.
I probably should not have called it a flame war, but I don't want to start a war between the two islands.
Yeah.
Although, wait a minute, that is actually a great premise for something off Broadway that's either really dumb or like silly smart and runs for like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So like it's like the war between P-Town and Fire Island.
I thought you were going to say Bravo reality show, but you took it highbrow.
No.
You
I'm
went
taking
highbrow.
I'm going
I like
off
it.
Broadway. I'm calling Douglas Carter Bean and commissioning it from him. No, this needs to be. This is where they go to war. Like, yeah, it's like all like the smart, friendly kind of like cubs and bears and like guys and all the other ones that inhabit that are indigenous to P-Town versus the Fire Island people, the Pines people.
You don't seem to want to comment on them.
Well, I've only been there a couple of times, but my experience is that a lot of the guys there, they combine desperation with ruthlessness, and it's just not a winning combination.
Yeah.
To see somebody who looks terrified and kind of hungry and scared, and at the same time it's vicious. I mean, it's like they're like starving jackals or something. I mean, it's whereas in P-Town, I just feel like the guys are much more comfortable in their own skin, and it's like, I don't know, and they're not body Nazis. And don't get me wrong, I look great. But I mean, like, they're, like in P-Town, you're much more likely to meet a really cute dentist from Minneapolis. And that, to me, is really hot.
Well, and the Dick Doc, there's no desperation and ruthlessness
I
going
don't
on
know
under
about the Dick Doc.
Uh-huh.
It's like that is an underworld that I don't take part in. Like to me, the perfect time is the boat slip between 4 and 7.
Yeah.
And my friend Brian is always like, we have to get there. We can't get there too early because we'll look like too needy. We have to show up there like at 4:20 or 4:30, and I'm in line at 3:50. I mean, like, or I'll get there. If you get there really early, you get in free. Actually, they just
nice.
go. Just they're like, you're so pathetic. Just walk in.
I'd want to go just to meet this Jesus fella.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm there every Easter. No, it's a much better place. I mean, I love the boat slip. I want to be buried at the boat slip. Sorry, that's morbid. Okay.
Not under the Dick Doc, though.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Oh God. I don't think the soil there is probably.
I want a mausoleum.
All right, so I'm telling Matt and all our fans who want to meet Mo Rocca, P-Town is the place to go.
Yes, and
Well, I'm not just going to be waiting there. Sorry, I don't want to.
No, they're going to be waiting there.
yeah, they're going to be waiting for you. And also, if you're a dentist from Minnesota, Rocca, it's at Mo Rocca on Twitter.
Hopefully after this interview, we can get you up from 418K to like 418.01.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm already there. I think I'm up for like 418, 260 or something like that. Not that I'm counting. I mean,
Thank you, Mo Rocca.
Thanks,
good
Mo.
talking to you.
The Six Pack.